So of course they're not going to give that much attention to NXT, because you're supposed to go through that to prove yourself to come to the main roster, and that's when all your sort of accomplishments start taking note in the record books or whatever logs they keep. But yeah, it is a flawed system, because I would class a lot of people on NXT as probably more talented than half of the people on the main roster at the current time.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And it's so difficult with WWE at the moment. I know we haven't really spoke about it that much. I don't want to go into this too much because we are coming to the end of the show here. But in terms of WWE, the ratings and everything, it's so difficult. The only way I can describe it is as a way of sort of looking at it from anything else that we know of, Matt. And again, we do have to go to the UK here a little bit on the sports side of things, but it's like comparing WWE to Manchester United, in a sense that they haven't, since Alex Ferguson's gone in this country, Man United have not been the force they once were, although they've got a little bit of momentum back with their latest manager. However, in the last 4 or 5 years, they are not. However, the interesting thing is with Manchester United, they are still the richest club in the world. They're still the most the merch has been sold everywhere. They have the most worldwide appeal. They're the most known club throughout the entire globe. Yet the club is not successful on the pitch. And I kind of feel like the same is for WWE. And the unfortunate thing is they can't measure themselves that well anymore, because they are making the most amount of money they've ever made. They get some cracking deals with this Saudi Arabia prince, no doubt about it. They are making tremendous money. They're making more money there than they are WrestleMania. It's ridiculous. But when it comes to ratings and everything and what they're putting out content-wise, it's not the best. And it's the only way I can compare it is to something like Man United, who, in terms of their owners, they're probably still really happy because they're signing these huge deals, these record-breaking sponsorships and everything else. But, what they put out and what they do on the pitch or whatever, or WWE do, it's just not as good quality as it once was. And that's the problem that WWE and us as fans have, I feel, is that, we are crying out. I know they said at the beginning of the year, we want to change things and we're going to change things and all this. To be honest with you, Matt, I haven't seen much change at all. I don't know what you think about it, but I'm not thinking, wow, that's really changed since he came out and said that. I don't know what he was pointing to there. I don't know why they did that, but it was odd for them. Didn't you find it funny, Matt, for them to come out and say that anyway? I mean, they've never normally done that, but to actually come out and say, we know, that was strange to me. And by the way, it's all Baron Corbin's fault.
Oh god, yeah, what a way to palm it off. But then the thing with that is, like you said, yeah, they come out and they gave all that, and whether they mean it or not is one thing.
Yeah.
But all this thing about like how they know their fans are a smart fan base,
yeah,
and we're going to treat them this way. But to come out and say we'll give the fans what they want, and the fans are screaming Becky, every week going Becky, and then Vince McMahon personally comes out and goes, no, not Becky, Charlotte. She's the one. She's going to WrestleMania. That's just what a contradiction.
Yeah.
Storyline or not, that is just ridiculous. Like a month later.
Strong, sexy, powerful. Every time you say it, yeah. Definitely some of that involved. Yeah, it is, and it's just an odd time at the moment. And like I say, it's very, very difficult for WWE to measure themselves properly. What will be interesting with AEW, Matt, is that when they come about, apparently they've signed up with a pay-per-view company, and you do wonder whether WWE streaming will bite them in the butt a little bit when this starts to kick off, because it's a bit like New Japan. I mean, there is an audience out there, Matt, that will pay for this stuff, and if you're good and the content's good, people will pay for it. I don't care what you say, they will pay for this stuff. So yeah, you've got to have good quality and everything else, but there's no reason why they can't pull that off. And you do wonder, Matt, with the pay-per-view business, WWE, they're out of that. They're not in that anymore, even though we see them in this country and they are still, with pay-per-view companies in America. They are not in the pay-per-view business in terms of whatever they make. They never tell you their buy rates anymore because they're so bad, because, of course, they want people on the network. So it's interesting how they're going to get around that. And you do wonder, even like WrestleMania, for instance, it's not a pay-per-view anymore. It's the biggest event of the year, but, you can pick this up for 10 quid, all in with everything else. So that's very interesting. Just to end this, Matt, whilst we're talking about the network, there's been a lot of talk as well about a network price change, and possibly it could be as cheap as maybe £3 cheaper, and then there's going to be like a £12 and a £15, or I don't know what that'll be in dollars, but they may be signing on now with the companies they've been involved with for a while, like ICW in this country, in the UK, Progress, which is a total recommendation, by the way, from what I've seen from those guys, Evolve, and there was another one as well. But Matt, I'm going to ask you, I mean, we're both wrestling fans. Would you be interested in that? Would that, with that sort of price value of, say, I don't know, £15, is that still good money, every pay-per-view, etc., etc.?
Oh yeah, I believe so. I mean, there's definitely a market for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know, I'm guilty of this myself. Like, when some wrestlers come to the WWE, I feel like I should know them,
mm-hmm.
but I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're obviously ones that have come through these companies that WWE have seen something
mm-hmm.
in them for. Yeah, we're gonna take them on board. So yeah, I feel the opportunity to see them before they make it to WWE is good, because a lot of the stuff that they are allowed to do with WWE, they can't really, showcase their skills
mm-hmm.
properly. I mean, like I spoke earlier in the show about Kevin Owens, the stuff
mm-hmm.
he used to do is completely different to what he is now.
Mm.
And I feel like you miss that sometimes with wrestlers. Sometimes you don't get to see them at their full potential, which is what they were showcasing before they got to WWE.
Yeah, and of course they also now own all of TNA archive as well, so that will probably be added in with this. I don't know when that's going to come about. I suspect after WrestleMania they may throw up the different subscriptions. So there's going to be there'll probably be like different limits. Maybe the lowest one, I don't know if that's still going to include your pay-per-view. It might just be all the content, all the archive stuff. I'm guessing the middle one would probably include the pay-per-view. And then if you want all these indie promotions to bring you their live sort of stuff, because it won't be just archive stuff, it'll be like Progress now and everything they've done, then you'd pay the top whack. But to be honest, it's still a hell of a deal, to be honest with you. When you think about it, just to all be in one place is quite convenient as well. So I just wish with the WWE Network they would spend more money on getting somebody who's maybe worked at Netflix or something, or Amazon, just to get a better, easier system of finding the content. Like, the layout is atrocious on the WWE Network, and it's one of the reasons I would go on it more, but I just hate the way it's all laid out. And it's like if I'm watching, say, Raw 97, it'll never ask me, oh, do I want to watch this after, because I've just watched. No, I've got to go all the way back and search out the Raw after that. So it doesn't have, what do they call that, Matt? Like Netflix, when they say, it can always find you the next thing to watch, because everyone's Netflix account's different. It's more personal to them, isn't it? But there's something in that. But WWE Network definitely doesn't have that at the moment. I don't know what that's called.
It's a clever system.
Yeah.
Recommended stuff.
Yeah.
It's all very smart. But yeah, like I said, even the search engine on WWE is awful.
Yeah.
Type in a match type or type in a certain wrestler and you can't find it. I'm like, what is going on? That's what this thing was built for. That's what search engine does. But it just doesn't come up with the results I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think by now, I mean, I don't know how long the WWE Network's been around, but by now they should be where they're sort of sorting this stuff out better. It's kind of bad that they haven't. There's all this great content on there. There's thousands. I mean, out of Amazon Prime and Netflix, WWE's, in terms of minutes, they probably like double anything that Netflix have got and everything else. But it's just so difficult to find anything, easy access to stuff. It's like a complete waste of time in having it, because it's so difficult to sort of ever follow anything, the way it is. But of course we all have it, because it's definitely still cheaper than paying a pay-per-view each month, of course, no doubt about that. Okay, Matt, well, I think we're coming to the end of the show. Is there anything you wanted to add that we haven't covered, Matt? We've
oh, well, we can talk for quite a long time.
Yeah, we can.
It never gets boring.
No.
But, I feel like, we've probably covered most of the topics that are on people's minds right now. But of course, if anyone has anything on their mind that we haven't covered, we do encourage you to email us.
Of course.
We'll get on that when we can.
Yeah, of course, Raw tonight will be interesting to see what happens with that. I'm hoping a little bit more progress. I mean, I don't know how far out we are now from, I think it's early March, isn't it, that Fastlane happens, so that's going to be a quick build, whatever that is, at the time. But I'm hoping they don't do too many strange decisions before then, and we try and get on a decent road to WrestleMania. It's very stop-start at the moment, with the way it's all presented and the way it's laid out. But
I'm kind of surprised that Triple H hasn't got that itch yet, and we haven't got anything with a set-up to that at all.
Yeah, you wonder if, that could even be, I wonder if they just wait till after Fastlane now and then they do it. But of course, lots of rumours about Dave Bautista. Not really sure how interested I am in that either, really. Doesn't set me on fire, a Dave Bautista Triple H match, quite frankly. But I wouldn't be surprised either. The way they're sort of talking about it, but it's not something I really am sort of holding my breath for, let's put it that way. So we'll see what happens, and it'll obviously be interesting. Of course, the good thing, I suppose, is the whole women thing at the moment. I mean, that's keeping me going at the moment. If it wasn't for that, I think this would be extremely flat. The whole road to this, not having Brock Lesnar about at all either, is just, it's just very open at the moment. So it should be good up until then. We'll be back, I'm sure, within like the next couple of weeks, with lots more news. Of course, as soon as Fastlane's out of the way, we will start to be putting out more sort of WrestleMania based nostalgia podcasts out. We're going to be doing this completely new thing where myself and Matt are going to be sitting down. I don't know how long it's going to take, to be honest with you. I haven't really worked it out. Could be a nightmare, but we said we'd do it, and we're basically going to go from I don't know what we decided to call it, but basically it's all in the numbers. It's every 35, and then there's some steps with it, but we're going to go through from WrestleMania 1 all the way to WrestleMania 34, and we'll see what we get out of it. So we encourage you to join us for that, but you're going to need the network to boot that up. We always get a lot of emails about when we're doing our next lot of those. People love to sort of, I don't know, people tell me they like to just sort of turn off the volume and listen to us over it. I guess like a little mini commentary over it, to join us watching it. So that's cool. But we will be cracking on with that as well, and getting into the WrestleMania theme and spirit of it all. Well, Matt, I guess we'll probably be back now, just after Fastlane, I would imagine. So hopefully we'll be a little bit more active and up for the WrestleMania, the road to it, Matt, by then.
Oh yeah, well, we'll be there for every step of the journey. We'll definitely have our eyes on it, and hopefully by then we'll have some good insights and keep everyone updated on what we think, because everyone's got an opinion, but we get to talk about ours on here, and we like to be as honest as we can.
Yeah, we're always honest, and we always get told that apparently our English humour runs well with a lot of the of our listeners. Anyway, apparently we're very down to earth. But sometimes I do listen to other podcasts. I don't deny that I don't. I'm not one of these